Imagine this: a peaceful beach, the sun shining, and a group of tourists gathering to do something they believe is good for nature. They bring freshwater turtles and frogs, ready to release them into the sea. But what if this act of kindness is actually doing more harm than good? Stay with us as we uncover the shocking truth behind these well-meaning but disastrous releases. Across China, especially in scenic tourist spots like the Silver Beach National Resort in Beihai City, a strange trend has emerged. Tourists with good intentions have been releasing animals like freshwater turtles, frogs, and even fish into environments where they simply cannot survive. These actions are often done under the impression that they're doing the right thing, helping nature, perhaps even saving a life. But here's the truth: these seemingly innocent releases have a devastating impact. What happens when you take a creature that is perfectly adapted to one ecosystem and place it into another? It's not a rescue, it's a death sentence. Take the case of the freshwater turtles released into the sea. These turtles are designed to thrive in freshwater lakes, not in the salty ocean. They can't survive in the high salinity of seawater. It's a slow death as their bodies struggle to cope with the salt, causing dehydration and eventual failure of their cells. Though some freshwater turtles might survive for a while in brackish waters, the sea's saltiness is lethal. The high salt concentration draws moisture out of their bodies, and they quickly die, unable to adapt. This isn't just happening with turtles. Imagine ocean fish with specialized cells that balance their internal salt levels. When released into freshwater, their cells burst as water floods in, causing their bodies to collapse and die. But the situation gets even more complicated when non-native species are involved. Take the American bullfrog, for instance. Introduced into China in the 1950s for aquaculture, this species has since wreaked havoc on local ecosystems. When released into the wild, it competes with native species for food and space, threatening biodiversity. Bullfrogs are aggressive and breed rapidly, often outcompeting and preying on native species. By releasing them into the wild, we're essentially giving them a free pass to invade and destroy local habitats. Under China's newly amended wildlife protection law, releasing animals into the wild is not as simple as it seems. The law clearly states that any released species must be native, able to survive in the environment, and should not disturb the local community or natural resources. Releasing non-native species or animals that cannot survive in the wild results in not only the death of the released creatures, but also the destruction of the local ecosystem. And those responsible, they could face serious legal consequences. Every action in nature has a ripple effect. One seemingly harmless release of a non-native species can lead to a cascade of environmental problems. Invasive species can destabilize ecosystems, leading to the decline or extinction of native plants and animals. Native animals and plants struggle to compete with these invaders, leading to the collapse of ecosystems. What we consider doing good ends up causing the opposite effect: harm. The key to helping nature isn't through misguided releases, but by supporting real conservation efforts. Protecting ecosystems means understanding them, not disrupting them. Educate yourself, support wildlife sanctuaries, and if you see someone releasing animals, speak up. By working with nature instead of against it, we can help preserve the delicate balance that sustains life on Earth. So next time you see someone preparing to free an animal, remember, in nature, freedom comes with knowledge. Let's be mindful. Let's choose to protect the environment in ways that make a real difference. Because after all, the real power to save nature comes from understanding it. Think before you release. Protect our ecosystems.